Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the largest gated community in North America, spanning 26,000 acres in the Ouachita Mountains in south central Arkansas. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and some occasional guests as we explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. It's exciting to plan your first trip to Hot Springs Village as a potential retiree to experience all of the village's amenities and the lifestyle and this natural beauty. Today, let me give you some recommendations to help you get the most out of your very first visit so that you can make an informed decision about retirement in Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. HSV Inside Out is sponsored by Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there. Also sponsored by McGraw Realtors, located in the heart of Hot Springs Village, the fastest growing real estate office with over 30 agents and staff. Executive brokers Lori and Ken Henderson, along with realtor and waterfront specialist Rick Marshall, they're eager to share the special features of Hot Springs Village with you. For a complimentary relocation packet, call Ken and Lori at 501-276-3018 or Rick Marshall at 501-601-RICK. They are McGraw Realtors of Hot Springs Village. Welcome to the Cedar Creek Trail inside Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. My name's Randy. I'm glad that you clicked play. Come and take this hike with us, and we're going to discuss how you can plan your very first trip to Hot Springs Village and make the most of it. I know that there are many of you that are looking at your retirement. You're considering Hot Springs Village. Some of you, you're considering Hot Springs Village as your next retirement destination. So whatever your situation is, I'm glad that you're here along this walk. It is early June 2025, and we're trying to take these walks during various times of the year to give you an idea of just, well, the massive changes that happen around here. We do have all four seasons. This is far and away, I think, the most popular trail. It's relatively flat, easy, and you can walk as long or as little as you want. And it's not just this one loop. There are loops within loops within loops. And you could come and you could walk this trail multiple times in a week and not trace over your own steps. So really popular, a lot of water, a lot of woods and forests, as you can see. So let's talk about this first trip. I hear constantly every week from a number of you who have not yet made your first visit. And one of the questions is, how can you make the most of it? I think it's pretty clear to all of us that Hot Springs Village is not a place that you can just come and spend 1 or 2 days and then, I got it. It's all figured out. So let's begin with setting an expectation for your trip. There are some who just have this casual interest in Hot Springs Village. Maybe it's right, maybe it's not right. We don't know. We're in the really early stages of kind of thinking this thing through and figuring this thing out. Others of you are definitely more serious. You're definitely further along the line in trying to make a decision, even for the near term. You just want to figure out where you are in that journey and make your plans accordingly. Now, wherever you are is perfectly cool. I mean, just face the reality of where you are. So I'm going to ask the question, what's the goal of this first trip? And if you've got loved ones that are helping you with this, if you've got a significant other, sit down, talk about it, and agree on it. Now, I'm an old analog guy, so I'm going to encourage you to write it down. Okay, that could be a note in your phone, but what's the goal of this very first trip? Now, let me insert here. Give yourself permission to change your mind once you experience the visit. But I think it's wise to have a plan going in. I tell my coaching clients all the time, pursue the ideal outcome. Figure out the best case scenario that's possible and what that might look like, what that might feel like, and chase that. I mean, there's no reason for us to pursue anything other than that, and certainly not during these retirement years. We want to live our life. We're not trying to just plan going on down the drain. We want to make the most of the time that we have left. So give yourself permission. Even if you set this goal and you make this plan, it can change, and that's okay. Because with new information and new feelings, you can always change it. So give yourself permission to do that. But I think it's wise to make up your mind in advance what you most would like to accomplish with this first trip. And whatever you decide is going to be perfectly fine. Let me give you some questions that might help you along the way. What are the top 3 things we want to find out during this trip? And there may be more, there may be less, but at least give it a go. And you could add as many of these as you want, but there are going to be some things that you really want to find out, that you feel like you need to find out during this first trip. I would just say tap the brakes in wanting to figure it all out, find it, because it's a big, big place. And I'm without trying to make it sound complex, there are some complexities. Now, they're not the kind of complexities you might be thinking. They're complexities in just trying to get your head wrapped around 26,000 acres. It's a big, big place, and it's very diverse. It's diverse in the type of houses that there are, the cost of those houses, where they're located. So figure out the top 3 things that you want to find out during this trip. What are the top 3 things we most want to experience before we go home? Think about these things. The next one is a big question, and that is, who can help us make the most of our time? Who's always a big question. We hope to provide at least one who to help you. Hopefully this show, this podcast, can help you figure things out. And lastly, on this point, make notes during your stay. And I would challenge you to particularly make note of the questions that develop while you're here that you didn't have before you got here, because I promise you, the first trip, it's going to provoke some questions. And don't forget those. Secondly, let's talk about figure out where you'll stay. I'm going to tell you straight up, do not stay in hot springs. There's nothing wrong with hot springs. I'm not dissing on hot springs. But if you're making this trip to investigate Hot Springs Village as your retirement destination, then you need to stay inside Hot Springs Village. There are a number of people who come and they know about the tourist attractions in Hot Springs, and they stay in Hot Springs and they think, well, we'll visit the village. If it's a vacation, I salute it. But if you're looking to retire to Hot Springs Village, don't do that. You need to come and stay inside the village. Is it just you and a spouse? Are you alone? Are you traveling with other people? You're going to need to think about that before you head over to Airbnb. If you're bringing a whole bunch of people, then okay, VRBO might be your thing. I'm going to encourage you to head over to Airbnb and search Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Pay close attention to each listing, because I'm going to tell you straight up, you're going to get some listings that are going to be in Hot Springs, not Hot Springs Village, even if you do search Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. It's confusing, I know. Hot Springs versus Hot Springs Village. What's the difference? Big difference. Big difference. So pay close attention to each listing to make sure the address is Hot Springs Village and not Hot Springs. And if you're unsure, check it before you book it. Next, I would encourage you when it comes to figuring out where you're going to stay is look for a location that has all the amenities that you want. But focus on the location description. Now, for Rhonda and I, when we stayed, we wanted a king-size bed. We wanted a kitchenette where, at least we had a microwave. Didn't necessarily need an oven or a cooktop. Absolutely had to have a refrigerator. Absolutely had to have a freezer. I would bring ice trays with me because I'm an ice freak. So think about those kinds of things that you want in the amenities, but just kind of make that be the minimum bar that you got to jump over, because I'm going to encourage you to really focus. Once you get past those requirements, where is this place? Do you want to stay on a golf course? Then you need to make sure the listing is actually on a golf course and not just adjacent to a golf course. Do you want to stay at a lakefront place? Well, make sure if you want to stay on one of the larger lakes, the 4 largest lakes, then you need to make sure that listing is on one of those and not on the much smaller lakes. And yes, there's a difference. There's a difference in the experience. The 4 largest lakes in descending order are Lake Balboa at 944 acres, Lake Coronado, 380 acres, Lake Cortez, 245, and Lake DeSoto, 200. These are the lakes where motorboats can happen, skiing can happen. And if that is what appeals to you, then make sure that the place where you're going to stay is going to be on one of those lakes. If you just want water to look at and you don't care about it being a big body of water or a bigger body of water, then you need to check that out too. So now, depending on how you answered step 1 of setting your expectation and figuring out what the goal is going to be, then you need to get as specific as necessary to figure out where you want to stay. For example, if your goal is to investigate living on a specific golf course, then try to find a listing on that golf course. And if your goal is to investigate living on a specific lake, find a listing on that lake. Now, it may be that during this first trip, you don't know any of that. You just want to figure those things out. Perfectly okay. Just pick a place that suits your ideal outcome as your home base while you're here. You will be spending a significant amount of time there, and that'll help you learn more about the place. It'll also help you learn more about other similar places, whether that's a golf course or a lake. Now, you may want to split your time. When it comes to booking a place to stay, you may want to split your time between a couple of places so that you can get multiple experiences. Keep in mind, most Airbnb listings, they are going to require a stay of 2 or more nights. Yes, there are some people that will host someone for a single night, but I'm going to tell you that you're going to find that that's rare. And 2 or more nights, it might severely restrict your ability to find out much about the village. And moving around, it may be impractical for you. So do what you got to do. Hopefully, you can give yourself 3 nights or longer. And of course, I'm going to encourage you, after the many visits that we took here before we purchased property here, more is better. Because I guarantee you're going to develop new questions and new curiosities once you drive through the gates. Lean into that curiosity. Don't be quick to just make up your mind. Be open-minded. Come into the gates with all your questions and be fully embracing of developing new questions, and try to get as many answers as you can during this first trip. I want you to make the most of this trip. The whole goal here is for this first trip to be successful. Third, develop a plan to achieve your ideal outcome for this visit, this first visit. I can't stress this enough. Ask for help. Ask for help. It's free. It is without obligation. And I'm going to repeat what I often say. Call Ike Eisenhower. Call Ken and Lori Henderson. Call Rick Marshall. Ike owns Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ken and Lori and Rick all work at McGraw Realtors of HSV. Yes, they are sponsors of the show, but that's got nothing to do with calling them. Call them because they will happily help you by offering their perspective and their help. They live here, they work here. They won't try to sell you anything except maybe Hot Springs Village, because even though they sponsor this show because they love the village as much as I do, and they want me to be able to provide this content without ever asking you for any money at all. And they are strong ambassadors for Hot Springs Village. They've made life investments to be here, and they will just save you a boatload of time and effort. Plus, they're going to become some of your new HSV, Hot Springs Village, some of your new HSV contacts in your phone. And this is great because when you get home, guess what? Yeah, you're going to have more questions. Now, do you want to look at houses to see what the market is right now when you come? The majority of you do. But it depends on where you're at with your seriousness. But even if you're casually serious, that's something you kind of need to find out. Do you want to find out what kind of outdoor activities might be available? Think golf, tennis, pickleball, hiking, boating. Do you want to narrow down some area to live? Do you want to try to figure out what you most want in a house? Do you want to figure out where you most want to be? Do you want to be on a golf course? Do you want to be on a lake? Do you care? We've all got our preferences. These are important things to figure out, or at least to get you on the road to figuring that out while you're here on your very first visit. So develop a plan to get the answers that you need. And as I've already encouraged you, begin by asking who. Who can best help me figure this out? Ike Eisenhower has lived here almost 30 years. He's built this thriving insurance agency. He has raised his family here. He's got a unique perspective, and he can help answer those questions. Ken and Lori, they live here. Lori grew up here. Rick Marshall, he's the waterfront specialist around here. He's lived on Lake DeSoto for a number of years, which, by the way, is his first lakefront living experience. And if these folks don't fit the bill for your who, then find somebody who does. Whomever it is, line that up. Which leads me to the next point, and that's schedule. Schedule it. Make these connections in advance of your trip. Don't wait till you're here. Line it up. Call these people. Tell them when you're planning to visit. Set the appointments so you can make the most of your time and theirs. Be respectful, but do not be bashful. Be honest. Just tell them your level of interest. It's perfectly okay to tell any of these people, listen, we're coming. We've never been there. We are just kicking the tires on whether or not Hot Springs Village might be right for us. Tell them what you most would like to figure out during this trip and ask them if they can recommend somebody else, perhaps that you can talk to in addition to them, and line up these appointments. Do you want to play golf while you're here? Ask your Airbnb host to help you arrange that. Book your tee times and book these well in advance. Play whatever courses suit you. Play as much as you want. Play as little as you want. Don't play at all. This is for you to figure out. Do you want to get out on a boat on one of the lakes? Again, let's suppose that you're staying on a lake. Ask your Airbnb host if they have kayaks available. Do they have other boats available? Are there additional costs if we were to rent your boat while we're here? You're going to find your Airbnb host helpful in arranging whatever activity you want, and that includes tennis and pickleball or anything else. Are there specific clubs that you'd like to check out while you're here? And maybe they don't have any scheduled meetings during your visit. Doesn't matter, don't worry. Reach out to them anyway. See if you can meet in person somebody from that club. I can guarantee you they will say yes, and you'll be able to meet with somebody. And we have posted a link to a downloadable PDF that was made available by the POA. You'll find it over at our Facebook group. It's a nice PDF of, I don't know if it's got all of the groups, but it's got many of them. And if you can't find that, just reach out to me. Just drop me an email at hello@hsvinsideout.com, and I'll send you that PDF. If there are specific clubs that you would like to find more about, schedule that. Make an appointment with somebody from that club during your visit here. Now, maybe you enjoy spontaneity. Maybe you just like to go wherever your impulses lead you, and that's perfectly fine. However, I'm going to strongly encourage you to forego that as much as possible for this first visit, because I want you to make the most of this trip. I want this trip to be successful. And if you come here and you just wing it, and you just wake up every morning and you shoot from the hip, you'll have a perfectly lovely time. But you're trying to figure out if Hot Springs Village might be an ideal retirement destination. I'm going to tell you straight up, that's a poor plan of attack to do it. That's the way to behave if you're coming here to just vacation. But you're not coming here to just vacation. You're coming here to, yes, relax and have a good time, but you're coming here to figure this out. This is a big decision. These are important things for all of us. So calendar all this. Set an appropriate time frame for what you have planned. Include meals. Include meals at places that you know you would like to experience. Who cares? Dine in as many places inside the village as you possibly can if that is important to you. Dine in as many places nearby if that's important to you. Warning, you might find yourself falling in love with some place or two, and you may think, man, that was pretty good. How about we just go back there? Go for it. Do whatever suits you. But if dining is a big deal to you, make sure that you just check out as many places as you want. And I would tell you, even if dining's not all that important to you, check out as many places as you want, because you'll just get a vibe. You'll get a sense of the place by doing that. And I can speak from firsthand experience because Rhonda and I both did. Be sure, during this calendaring thing, be sure to check out the website, hsvinsideout.com. If you go to the sidebar, you will find an icon where you can click on it and you will get the 10-day forecast. And I'm telling you to do this because I don't want you to book golf on a day where the chances for rain are like 90%. So make your calendar reflect whatever the predicted weather may be. Just understand these predictions are not 100% accurate, but it's better than planning blindly. The last thing I'd want you to do is come and you book some golf and you try to book some tee times only to get here and you realize, okay, we got about 24 hours of some pretty heavy rain. So be sure to check out that 10-day forecast. Next, make adjustments before you arrive. So we've done this work, and now we're going to sit down and we're going to review our goals. We're going to review our expectations. We're going to review our plans. We're going to review our calendar. I am completely sympathetic to those of us, my hands in the air, that normally don't plan trips to this degree at all. We behave with much more spontaneity. But again, this is an important trip. And some of you are going to be coming from many states away. So I want it to be just as valuable as it can be for you to figure this out. The objective isn't to coerce you, to force you into Hot Springs Village. The issue is for you to figure out, is this even right for you? Is this ideal? And if it is, you need to know. And if it's not, you also need to know. So sit down and review your goals, your plans, and your calendar. And now think, anything we want to change? We haven't got in the car yet. We haven't got on an airplane yet. We're not there. Then do it. Then do it. Make the change. So this all goes back to what I said at the beginning. Give yourself permission to change your mind. You know, there's some people, and they book 3 nights, and then they get to looking at it, and they get to thinking about it, and then they decide, let's book 2 more. Now, that may not be possible if you have originally already booked a place. It might be, but if it's not, it also might give you the opportunity to experience a different place. And that's cool too. Is there any change that you want to make in your calendar before you arrive? Then do that, and do that at this stage. Next, let's talk about making adjustments during your trip. So you have arrived inside the village for the first time. I give you a true story. Last year, a couple, they came to the village for the very first time, and they wanted to look at houses. And they firmly announced to the realtor that they didn't have any plans to purchase or make an offer on a house while they were here, but they wanted to look and see kind of what houses were and get some sense of the market. And so the realtor showed them some houses. Guess what? Yeah, you're ahead of me. They found a house that they loved, and they made an offer, and it was accepted, all in one visit. You might find yourself in a situation like that. You may not, and there's no pressure for you to do anything like that. But this is why you need to have the ability and the foresight to make adjustments in your trip while you are here. Just do it. That's fine. Don't hesitate. You got no gun to your head to make a decision in a single trip, but you might have an opportunity, and you might want to seize the opportunity. Maybe you'll tour some houses with a realtor only for the purpose of just getting some ideas, like that couple, of what houses are like and kind of how far will your money go. But what's going to happen if you take a look at a house and you find one and you think, it's awesome, it's perfect, it's everything that we hoped and then some? Well, I hope that you'll be flexible enough to make whatever adjustments you want to make that you feel like best serve you and your life. Suppose you play a specific golf course because, well, it's what you had on the calendar. But suppose you absolutely love it. You haven't even played the other courses, but it's like, that course was awesome. I would really love to play that course again. Well, if you're able to book the tee time, do it. Do it. So go where your interests are. Go where your curiosity and your feelings take you. Just adapt. Adapt and adjust accordingly once you are here, because that's going to help you make the most of this first-time experience. I don't want you to go home with regrets. I don't want you to go home thinking, man, I wish I would have played that course a second time. So enjoy the trip and be very adaptable during the trip. Next, and this may, I don't know, maybe you've thought of this, maybe you haven't thought of this, but I'm going to tell you to lean in and enjoy all of the post-trip discussions and the thoughts and the feelings and the dreams and the imaginations. You've come, you've had this visit. Hopefully you've got many of your questions satisfied, but you've created new ones. And now You're just kind of basking in it all. This much is sure. You are going to have a lot to think about, and you're going to have a lot to talk about after you drive outside the gates and you leave after having made your first visit. So I'll just tell you, brace yourself. Brace yourself for a whole lot of conversation and for a lot of strong feelings, and lean into those. Make note of the things that you would still love to learn, that you need to find out, that you need to figure out. In fact, I'll go you one better. Forward those to me. I'll help you. Forward those to the folks that you met while you were here. They'll help you. The number of people in your contact list, now that you've exited the gates and you're on your way home, the number of people in your contact list should be much larger than before your visit. Do not be shy to ask them. Listen, I'm an introvert, so I completely get it. But this is a big decision. You need to get answers to your questions. This is a big decision, and you deserve to get this right. And we all want you to get it right. Nobody wants you to get this wrong. It's not in anybody's best interest for you to figure out Hot Springs Village, Arkansas, only to figure out, not what I thought, not what I expected, not what I want. And let me end on this note. This is the last step. Be thankful that you found Hot Springs Village. Doesn't matter what decision you make, be thankful that you found the village. Even if it becomes a regular or an irregular place that you just visit and it does not become your retirement home, be grateful, because I guarantee you are going to find it refreshing and beautiful. You may find in your visit here, this forest is great and wonderful, but you know what really makes me happy? Being on a beach. So keep dreaming. Keep chasing whatever your retirement dream looks like. Embrace this imagination that we all have. Rick Marshall and I talked just last month in doing a tour of Lake DeSoto. He had talked off the camera about how much his father had always kind of longed to live on a lake. I encounter people pretty regularly who've never lived on a lake. They've never lived on a golf course, but it's just kind of always been their dream. Well, this is a place where dreams don't come to die. This is a place where people come and dreams are fulfilled. I'm hopeful that your visit is going to spark more visits, but it may not, and that's perfectly okay. Because if not, it may spark a decision for you to move on and look elsewhere. And either way, you win. You win because it helps you figure some things out. And winning in retirement, well, that's the game. That's the game. We need to win in retirement because we are trying to plan to live. We're not just planning to die. And where we spend these years, this is really, really important stuff. So I hope those few steps help you figure out a way to make your very first trip to Hot Springs Village a wild success. Thanks for clicking play. Visit the website hsvinsideout.com, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching Hot Springs Village Inside Out. You'll find all our episodes at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com or on YouTube.